If you invested $10,000 into Shopify stock when it IPO'd in 2015, you would have $175,000 today. That is, you would have gotten a return on investment of 1,650%. That was even higher at over 5 times that value, over 5,000% higher. Just phenomenal returns for investing in Shopify stock. So, how did this company get here? I'm going to talk about that in this video, as well as answer the question if it's too late to invest in Shopify stock. If investors interested in buying Shopify stock today are too late to the game. So I'll answer that question in this video, and I'll show you how Shopify stock got to where it is today, where it's delivered phenomenal returns to investors. So let's get into it, starting with Shopify's annual revenue. Look at this exponential growth here, starting out from almost nothing and climbing all the way up to $5.6 billion in annual revenue. Of course, the explosion accelerated after the pandemic. Shopify helps merchants establish an online presence. And of course, during the pandemic, if you were a business and you wanted to continue making sales, you absolutely needed an online presence, whether it be an app or a website. This was absolutely required. Brick and mortar stores, non-essential brick and mortar stores, were forced to close temporarily, and this created a boom for customers and signups for Shopify. And longer term, investors can reasonably expect Shopify's revenue to continue growing because e-commerce sales as a percentage of overall sales are still less than 20% here in the US. So that percentage is likely to continue rising over the next couple of decades because it's just so much more convenient to shop online versus shopping in store in person. Now, of course, I don't think it's ever going to be the case where 100% of shopping is going to be done online, but I certainly think the percentage is going to be higher than 20% in equilibrium in the long run at maturity. The next thing I wanted to show is Shopify's net income. And look at this exponential growth it experienced during the pandemic. It was steadily making progress, and then it absolutely exploded. Net profits to over 2 billion, close to 3 billion dollars, and then that reversed lower and the company returned back to losses, losing 3.46 billion dollars in its most recent trailing 12-month period. And this fall in profitability, this net income drop, coincides with the stock price drop. Look here. You saw when I showed you it was up more than 5,000%, and then it crashed all the way down. Well, that's due to this fall in profitability. And in fact, Shopify used to be one of my favorite stocks as well until it made this change where it decided it was going to invest billions of dollars in fulfillment, in logistics, trying to handle shipping and handling for its merchants and buyers on the platform. I much preferred Shopify before it decided to do that because I've been following Amazon, and Amazon does a lot of logistics, and that whole process has been very expensive for Amazon, and Amazon has little to show for it in terms of profitability and cash flow based on its billions of dollars in investments in its logistics network, right? So for one, Amazon hasn't done very well with logistics. And then for two, Shopify is going to be competing with Amazon, which is already so far ahead in terms of logistics. And even if it is able to compete with Amazon on that front, the potential is not that great. So the risk versus reward for investing billions of dollars in logistics and fulfillment, I was not a fan of. And so I became less enchanted with Shopify stock after management made that decision. And you could see here it's already having a big impact on profitability, absolutely collapsing from close to 3 billion in net income down to a loss of 3.46 billion. So looking at Shopify's valuation, it's trading at a forward price to sales of 7.1. It's near the lowest it has traded for according to this metric going back over the last year, but that's justified because like I showed you, its profitability has absolutely collapsed in the last year. So if you're interested in investing in Shopify stock for the next decade, I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. I would say this is not the right time to do it. I would wait to see more progress on how it's making with its logistics investment. Like, how is that going to pan out? What are some of the early results from those investments before I went ahead and invested in Shopify stock? But undoubtedly, Shopify has earned the benefit of the doubt because of its phenomenal performance since it IPO'd. It's delivered investors phenomenal gains, so it deserves a little bit of a longer leash and it deserves some credit because it has already proven itself so excellently. So that's all I've got for this video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I've hand selected a few videos that I think you're going to enjoy, so please click on one of those and I will see you over there. Thank you for watching.